What you're looking at right here is the brand new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra. And I was fully prepared after seeing the leaks to just make a video telling you buy the Fold 7, the Fold 8's unchanged. But after having hands-on time with it, there are actually some sneaky differences that make this a really big improvement over the Fold 7. We've got better cameras, better display, brighter display, anti-reflective display, improvements to the ergonomics on this phone, new softwares, new internals, bigger battery. There's a lot to talk about in this video, but across the board, we have a lot of improvements to an already great phone. I really liked the Fold 7, and I could really see myself using the Fold 8 as my everyday phone for quite some time. So, like I said, a lot to talk about in this video. Let's start off with the design. The ergonomic improvement, although it looks the same on the outside, you'll notice it really on where the two halves meet. So first of all, you have a bigger radius on the outside of the phone, so when you're holding it in your hand, it feels a little softer, less of a jab and sharp corner in there. So I think that's a big improvement. And more important than that, you have a larger chamfer where the two screens meet, which means that it's easier to get your finger in that little gap and open the phone. In fact, you could even open it fairly easily with just one hand, which I wasn't really able to do, and it was kind of a complaint of mine on the Fold 7. Now, before we get too far in this video, I want to mention if at any point you're interested in pre-ordering this phone, I do have links down in the description below. And in those links, you can get a pre-order bonus. Sometimes they give you free stuff. Sometimes they give you extra trade-in credit. I'll have, in the description, I'll tell you exactly what that link includes. But be sure to check out their link if you want to pre-order this phone and get it directly from Samsung, again, using that link down there. Now, other aspects of the design. This is Samsung's slimmest fold ever at 4.1 millimeters. I mean, last year the Fold 7 was already the slimmest. That was incredibly slim, and compared to the rest of the foldable market, this thing is just in a league of its own. It feels exactly like a regular non-foldable like S26 Ultra, for example, and looking at them side by side, this like the thickness is really comparable when it's folded, and then when you unfold it, you just have this incredibly thin tablet. Now, the aspect ratio of this is very much like we saw on the Fold 7 last year, which gives you a fairly like squatty keyboard. It's a little bit skinny, but last year I really got used to that, and especially because I open the phone a lot as well. The aspect ratio wasn't a huge problem. I actually find it's really useful for multitasking. You basically get two like 6.5-inch approximately screens on the inside, and that could be great for multitasking. There's also new multitasking software I'll mention later in the video. It's also great for apps that kind of expand more natively to any aspect ratio. For example, map, which I use this a lot for navigating, and having the larger map, I think it is pretty nice to have that. Things like watching videos on the inside, if you turn either way, it's kind of a square, so no matter which way you turn, you're gonna have some black bars on the top and bottom, so it depends on what kind of video you watch. If you wanna like crop in, you end up trimming along the outside. If you're watching like Planet Earth or something, that makes sense and it's fine, but for a lot of movies, I find that I don't really do that. And that's where the other foldable, by the way, Samsung's launching 3 this time, the Fold 8 Ultra, the Flip 8, so those make sense, and then the Galaxy Fold 8. But the Fold 8's the one that, if you really watch a lot of videos, that's gonna be the phone that makes more sense for you, where it's just a better aspect ratio for watching videos. It's kind of the passport shape, much like we saw on the previous, like the original Pixel Fold, for example. More on that later on in the video. And we have 3 main differences in this display. One, it now has an anti-reflective coating on there, which means that, just looking at this side by side with the Fold 7, you can see it blocks so much more of that reflection. It's only on the inside. The outer display does not have that, but the outer display is a lot simpler. It's a lot easier to just get a screen protector that goes on there that does that. Same thing with privacy. This does not have the privacy display of the S26 Ultra, but again, you could get a little screen protector on the outside that does that. Second improvement, this is brighter at 3000 nits. I believe the Fold 7 was 2600 nits peak brightness, so a little bit brighter there. And the third thing is this now has a lot of titanium going on underneath the display. So I think there's like a titanium alloy film, titanium plate down there. Honestly, they were a little vague when they explained exactly what that does, but my understanding is that it should give you a flatter display, it should be a little bit stronger, and it should give you a little bit less of a crease. I'm not a big crease guy. Honestly, I don't notice the crease on any of these. I think Samsung has done an excellent job with that. The overall experience using this phone really is quite nice. Now, talking about the cameras, we have some upgrades here as well. The primary rear lens is still 200 megapixels. That does most of the heavy lifting for photos and videos. You now have a 50 megapixel ultra-wide lens. It was 12 previously, and we have a 10 megapixel, as we did before, telephoto lens. We have some new features here. You should be getting better low light photos, better low light videos, so nightography with Pro Visual Engine, pretty solid stuff there. We have Cinelot APV codec support. I don't really do any kind of color grading, even on this. I never color grade any of my videos, but still, if you want to color grade your video from your phone, you can do that with the Fold 8. And as far as software features go, Samsung calls everything like Now. I think it's because they started with the Now brief a couple years ago. So the first one's called Now Nudge, which prompts you to open other apps side by side. So if your phone is unfolded and you're in Messages and somebody says, hey, do you want to go to like a coffee shop tomorrow at noon? It can pop up and say add event to your calendar. And if you tap that, it'll open the calendar in split screen. So you have your Messages and your calendar side by side. There's a couple other examples of where you could use that, and I'm sure it's going to expand in the future, but it's a nice way to kind of just make it quicker to go into the multi-view, because honestly, that's most of the reason people get the foldable in the first place, is to have two apps running at the same time on the inside. I personally love it, and I think this is a nice, faster way to access that. We also have other things in Messages where if somebody asks for like photos from a trip, or if they ask when you're free, it'll just pop up right there and draw from your calendar, or draw from photos that match a certain search, potentially from your trip, for example. There's a lot of things like that that are kind of just added in to make it a little bit more of a seamless flow. It seemed like most of them were while you're messaging other people, but nonetheless, it's kind of a cool feature to have. There's also ambient nudge, which is like the bottom right corner of the screen. I actually don't think I have any B-roll of this. Unfortunately, I should have filmed it, but basically it's a similar idea on that one to what we saw in Messages, where it'll remind you to like add things in calendar. And we have notification nudges, which is kind of the same thing again, but in a notification, if somebody says something about like an appointment, it'll pop up right there and you can add that to your calendar, for example, again. This has Gemini notebooks on here, which sounds like a crazy new feature. It's actually just Notebook LM rebranded to Gemini notebooks, but there wasn't really like a heavy support for that on mobile before, or like it wasn't really something that Samsung pushed as hard. So it's nice that that's kind of more integrated into the phone now. And for anyone who doesn't know, Notebook LM, or Gemini Notebook as it's now called, is a workspace where you can use the AI and give it a lot of data to work with to begin with. So you can add a bunch of files or PDFs or documents and have all of them in one project and kind of organize things in a notebook as the app is properly named after. All right, now I've got the spec sheet in front of me. A few key specs that I didn't mention in this video so far. One, the display size. It's a 6.5-inch Full HD Plus on the outside, and the inside is an 8-inch display. Both are 120 Hertz. The selfie lenses on the inside and on the cover screen are both 10 megapixels. The phone comes with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, but you could upgrade that to 512, or you could go with the highest tier, which is 16 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage. Also, water resistance is IP48 on here, so not the highest, but still, actually water resistance is the highest, but dust resistance is a little bit lower, of course, because of the hinge. And last but not least, we have the materials. So we have Gorilla Glass 3 ceramic on the cover display, Victus 2 on the back, and of course the inside is its own thing because it's a foldable display, and Armor aluminum for the body. As far as the internals of this phone, some upgrades here. We have Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy on the inside, pretty solid chip, efficient, fast. As far as Androids go, this is really essentially as good as you can possibly get. We have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery on here, which is also improvement and pretty impressive. They're able to fit that in there. Actually, that's a huge improvement over the Fold 7, which had 4,400 milliamp hours, which means you should be getting a significantly longer battery life on the Fold8 Ultra. The charging on this was increased to 45 watt fast charging, and we have 20 watt wireless charging, and so wired charging should get you up to 67% in about 30 minutes. Honestly, it's not bad. It's definitely not like OnePlus levels, but pretty good. So kind of closing thoughts on this phone. One, I really, really like this phone. I loved the Fold 7 last year. There's not a whole lot that I want changed, but Samsung seemed to nail all the right changes on here. The naming on the other side is a little bit weird. Like if they just called this the Fold 8, I would say absolutely buy it, awesome phone. But for some reason, like calling it Ultra and then not making it, like there were some things that I had on my list that I would like to see if they had an even more premium version of this. For example, the telephoto lens, only 10 megapixels, doesn't feel very ultra to me. Like I feel like it should be more similar to the S26 Ultra, which can zoom in a lot more with a really good periscope lens on there. That's kind of my biggest complaint about this phone. And again, naming it Ultra for some reason I felt like it should have had that one feature. But otherwise, objectively looking at this phone compared to last year, across the board, nice incremental upgrades that make this a solid phone, a really good recommendation for anybody who wants the best folding phone in 2026 and probably 2027 as well, that is not only very powerful, really good form factor, really well built, and has software to really back it up. So I'm a big fan of the Fold8 Ultra. I'm probably gonna be using this as my everyday phone, but I'm tempted to try out the little passport-shaped Fold 8. If you guys want to know more about that one, I actually have a full video about the Fold 8. I'll link that right here. And I also have videos about the Watch 9 and the Watch Ultra 2. I had hands-on time with all of them. I've actually been wearing the Watch Ultra 2 for about a week now, so be sure to check out that video next. Thanks for watching, guys, and once again, if you want to order this phone, check out the link down below for a pre-order bonus.